What is going on, guys? I'm Nick, and today we're taking a look at another case for the iPhone 14 Pro, and this is going to be one from Nillkin, specifically the Ace case. And let's go ahead and get right into it, starting with the packaging. So we take a closer look right here. We do get the name of the case up top with a nice picture of it right here, and we get some of its features. So it does obviously offer that camera shield, which slides over to cover the cameras completely. It has what Nillkin calls the got you system, and that's going to be this little lanyard slot right here. I'm going to go ahead and show you that right now. And right here, the hop-on system, which just refers to MagSafe. Of course, every case needs MagSafe, so we love to see that. Looking at the sides, we got Make Ace over on both sides. Nothing on the top, nothing on the bottom. And on the back, just some extra little random info, nothing too important. We can go ahead and get right into it now. So opening it up, really simple unboxing, nothing in there, and we have the case right here. As you can see there, it sits on this little plastic, and that's it. There is the case itself. Now, this case has been one of the most unique looking, I would like to say, and best feeling that I've covered so far. I'd like to think so, especially when it comes to just durability. But let's go ahead and take a look around, and then we'll slap the phone in there. Starting with the inside, you do see that MagSafe ring right there. This little slot is where the lanyard spot's hooked up to. And if we look into the edges, we do get these little sort of air pockets in the corners right there, as you can see. And that is going to help absorb impact when it comes to corner drops, anything like that. And it is like that on all four corners. Other than that, really simple on the interior. Not too much to look at. So let's go ahead and grab the phone right here, the iPhone 14 Pro in space black, and let's toss it in. Starting with the volume side as always. Snap it in real easily. Really demanding fit, could already tell. I'll go ahead and wipe this down a little bit. And it looks pretty much exactly the same as it did before because of that camera covers. You're not going to notice until you flip those open that you do have that lens coverage right there. Okay, and it does have a nice little lock to it, so you're not going to accidentally have it be opening or closing on you. It's really nice, it's really stiff, so you got nothing to worry about. But before we talk about some protection, I do want to try that fit test since it did snap on very easily. Alright, and we do have a very snug fit, a little bit of pull where the buttons are, mostly the volume buttons. Power button, you're not getting that much pull at all. Over at the top, completely solid, really no pull right there. Moving on to the bottom, the tiny bit of pull down here as well, mainly where that lightning port cutout is. But as for the sides, yeah, it is not going anywhere. Looking at the back, we can start talking about some protection. Obviously, our cameras are completely covered. No lens are going to peek out from there. Even if this is completely open, those lenses are very tucked in. As you can see, there's a super nice amount of room between the camera lenses themselves and the actual outside of the case. We can go ahead and shut that. And when you have it shut completely, obviously there's not really anything to worry about at all. But moving over to the front, we do have our screen lip, which is pretty minimal for what I would say a rugged case is, but I do have a tempered glass screen protector on here, so if you don't have one, you're going to be getting even more lip protection right there. But if you do, this is most likely what you're going to be looking at. I'm still confident putting my phone screen down. I don't really worry about anything like that, but just definitely something to point out. Now looking over at our volume side, we can take a look at a cutout right here. This is going to be the cutout for our mute toggle. It is a rectangle cutout, which you know I love to see. Totally aesthetic. It doesn't really make it better or worse. I just prefer to see it. Really easy to get to as well. And then we do have air slits in our power buttons right here. Our power buttons, our volume buttons. Let's go ahead and check those out. Super nice and tactile, really easy to use, and definitely some clicky buttons. Love to see those. And you can see you do have these little ridges right here along the sides, and those do help a ton with grip. And right here at the bottom, a little bit of Nillkin branding. Nothing too out there. Really nice to see, and I like the design of it, so pretty much a fan. Now we take a look at the bottom. We do have a very generous cutout for our lightning port, and then accurate speaker and microphone cutouts. And right here you can see those that sort of extra material that comes out on the edges and helps protect against those corner drops. Moving on to the side where our power button is located, you can see we do have those strips right here, which are going to help with grip, and then our power button itself, and it does also have air slits in it. Let's go ahead and test it out. Super nice and tactile as well. Definitely no complaints there. Really nice to use. Looking over at the top, completely closed off, and there's a plane flying overhead. And there we go. Completely closed off, and there is no grip strip as we see on the side. Not really a big deal since I don't think any of us are really holding our phone from there, but definitely something to point out. And you can see those sort of extra padded corners on the top as well. Now, something I am curious about with this case is the wobble test. Because of that camera protection, I wonder if this case is going to wobble at all. I kind of doubt it, but let's go ahead and test it out anyway. As you can see, we actually do have a pretty significant amount of wobble down at the bottom. As we work our way up to the top though, we have no wobble at all. So it's completely opposite compared to other cases, but I just remembered that is because of this little lanyard spot right here. So you're meant to hook a lanyard to this. That's exactly what this little spot's for. It's attached to the case itself. And yeah, that might be a little trade-off you have to make, but I want to go ahead and show you guys the lanyard, which is going to be this one right here. Nice little packaging, does match the packaging of the phone came in. Nillkin Ace, you can see, not too much going on over here. But let's go ahead and open it up, and we can see what's going on in here. Just like this. And we get this really nice little nylon lanyard. So that's all it is. We do get some Nillkin branding on it, which I do think looks pretty cool. Nice font and everything like that. And then we have a full metal carabiner clip right here, as you can see. Some red stitching right there. And all you would do with this is slide it in here, just like that. So now your phone is completely hooked on. You can throw this over your neck, maybe toss it on a bag, however you would like to attach it. You don't have to worry about this going anywhere. Obviously, it is just a regular carabiner clip, and it is completely metal, so you can be confident in tossing around your phone. Nothing to worry about with that. I would say it's a decent trade-off for that little bit of wobble you get when you place it flat on the table, but of course, to each his own. Now, of course, this case is MagSafe, so we have to do our MagSafe test, and let's go ahead and get that together. Starting with the Spigen OMAG ring, as always, which is a phone's grip and stand. We're going to snap it on, and let's see how it goes. Snaps on just like that, and okay, definitely not bad. I would say it's nothing too crazy, but you can definitely use it as a stand, or just as a grip. You can see you set it down on the table, you can tap away. Phone's definitely not going to be going anywhere, just like that. I can tell that the magnets aren't as strong as some others we've seen, but I definitely don't have any complaints, and I don't mind using this phone case with this accessory. Now we're going to go ahead and test some wireless charging capabilities, as well as a little bit of strength with the Apple battery pack. So it does snap on, it does start charging just fine, but I'm sure you've already noticed it does not sit flush on the case at all. So this carabiner grip right here, it is completely interfering and not letting it sit flush on the case. It is working just fine, it is going to charge just fine, but definitely something important to remember if you're going to be running this case and you want to use any battery pack. I'm pretty sure there's going to be an issue with any battery pack you decide to use. They're just not going to be able to sit flush. They will charge just fine, as you can see right there, but definitely something to keep in mind. So that is also going to make the magnetic adhesion weaker. As you can see, just shaking it, that battery pack is going to slip off. So definitely be careful with something like this. Now, you guys know a big one for me is the MagSafe wallet, and I'm pretty sure we already know how this is going to go. It does detect it just fine. It did magnetically adhere, but same thing as the battery pack, doesn't stick on completely flush because of this lanyard right here. So you see, you shake it right there, it completely fell off my desk. It is just something important to keep in mind because you might end up losing your wallet like this. Especially you drop your phone, even slipping it in and out of your pocket, there's a good chance it slips off. So if you really want a lanyard strap, this case is a hard go-to. Definitely go for it. But if you're using MagSafe accessories like that, something to be careful about. But we are still going to go ahead and test our biggest MagSafe test. We're going to use this heavy charging stand from Anker, and we're going to go ahead and see if this case can lift it. I'm going to snap it on right here. And it does lift it just fine. You can see it's not going to let us shake it around or anything like that, but it can lift it. So there are no jokes when it comes to the magnets, but again, not the strongest we've seen or anything like that, and this lanyard spot does interfere a good amount. But that's going to be pretty much it for this one, guys. I'll give you guys one last look around, and then we'll call it a day. So going back to our cameras, they are completely covered by that camera protection right there, as you can see. And there's a nice bit of room between them, so I wouldn't worry about this little cover scratching your lenses or anything like that. Nothing to worry about when it comes to that. Moving over to the front, here's our screen lip. I do have a tempered glass screen protector on here, and I do still have a lip, so I'm pretty confident in it. Here's a look at the volume button side. You can see right there, a little bit of Nillkin branding, and then our grip strips, buttons, cut out. Moving over to the bottom, really generous lightning port cutout, accurate speaker and microphone, and then we can see those buffed up corners right there. Moving over to the power button side, that grip strip, and then the power button itself with air slits, completely closed over on the top, and again, those buffed up corners. That's going to be pretty much it for this one, guys. Really hope y'all liked it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button down below. If you want to see more stuff like this, whether it's cases, accessories, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. And if you like this video, then you're more than likely going to like the other stuff I cover as well. But that's it. I'll let you guys get out of here. Have any recommendations, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you guys around.